Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing over there?
Hey, I'm tired.
Yeah, I know. We got to get back in the swing of this.
I'm having a really hard time. I'm not going to lie. It's tough.
Kind of having just a little too much fun sleeping in over the long weekend and come back to work yesterday. It was kind of like, okay, we have to be here, crash halfway through the day. But we're back today, and I promise we're gonna put our whole heart into making this program the best show we've had on a Tuesday in 2016. I mean, I'm serious about that. Hey, coming up, we've got Tuesdays with Charlie. And something I thought was kind of interesting, I ran across this. You ever heard the phrase, in the long run? Well, in the long run, we're going to be way better. Have you ever wondered what does the long run mean? Have you ever wondered that?
Not really, but I'm assuming you're going to
Well, I'm
share
going to
that.
tell you, the reference is to the race best illustrated in the story of the hare and the tortoise.
Hare. Or the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah. It says the hare was ahead for a while, but lost out to the tortoise in the long run because the tortoise was smarter and the hare was not. So there you go. That's what the long run's all about. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Coming up, we're going to talk about what special stuff is going on today. It's not much, but we're going to make the most of it. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, January the 5th. Today, there's one thing listed.
What is that?
One thing only. Today is Bird Day.
Huh.
So sing the song with me. You know the one that's a special song just for today. Happy birthday
good
to
Lord.
you.
I wondered where you were going with that. I was trying to think, what is a bird song?
Happy birthday to you.
It is entirely too early for your lame jokes.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. Bird Day today. I have no clue what that means. And I would think that they would maybe put this day at a time when there's more birds around, because there are a lot of places right now where the birds have been gone for months. Why would you be celebrating Bird Day in the middle of the winter when the birds are gone? Wouldn't it make more sense?
What about all the places where all the birds go?
Maybe they're the ones that celebrate
That's
today.
right.
So they must be the ones celebrating happy birthday, happy birthday. I promise I'll quit singing, and thanks for listening.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVWheelator.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVWheelator.com.
Heidi, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A police trap catches a road-running llama. Yeah.
Oh.
A circus llama in Hamburg escaped from its owner, and it ran straight into the police's arms. Well, not quite their arms, but in fact, it ran into a police speed trap. The animal was with its owner. The animal was with its owner in a local marketplace, so they're out shopping. He took his llama shopping, and it escaped and ran down a nearby road. Police say the animal overtook several cars in the race, as officers clocked him running over 10 miles an hour. Oh, I was expecting way more than that.
Thought it was like the Roadrunner or something.
I was like, oh, this llama must have been beating the band. But he's going 10. Well, that's not so. They caught the animal and they gave him back to his owner. So there you go. You know, that's not such an unbelievable story.
No, 10
I was so
miles an
excited
hour,
when I first read about the speeding llama that overtook several cars. So these cars must have been parked. Either that or they were
going through a school zone.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. But as I read more detail on that, I was even less impressed with it. So I'm sure that you were as well. Hey, coming up later in the program, we have a fun little thing we do every Tuesday. It's called Tuesdays with Charlie. And I'm looking forward to chatting with Charlie today. I wonder, do you think he still has a hangover from New Year's Eve?
I don't know. I'll have to find out.
We didn't even talk. Have we talked to him since then?
I have not talked to my parents at all.
Did they go out and celebrate and do some big wild shindig?
I don't know.
Can you imagine them just sitting home like watching Jeopardy or something? I can't imagine that. So I'm sure.
But
they
a
were
lot
doing
of their
something.
friends now are going to like Arizona for the winter.
The friends are all getting really old, so
So
are they.
I don't know. They might not have done anything. We'll have to
I
ask
guess we'll
them.
have to find out. We'll have that for you here before you know it. And if you see a speeding llama, have to see if he's going faster than 10 miles an hour, because then I might be impressed. But this particular llama we just talked about, like I said, left his owner and ran right for a police speed trap. And you know it's true, by the way, because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. If you're going to traffic drugs, it's best to try to be inconspicuous. Apparently, one trafficker didn't really think about that. He was carrying illegal narcotics, and when you're doing that, it's not a good idea to draw attention to yourself by getting into a fight with somebody over money and then getting yourself arrested. That was a lesson learned the hard way by Portland, Maine's Nicholas Foley, probably the worst drug trafficker ever. Foley might have gotten away with this little faux pas, but just as police were preparing to release him, he became sick and puked up 31 bags of heroin.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, upon further investigation, they found another 9 bags stuffed in a pack of cigarettes in the possession of the now re-incarcerated Mr. Foley.
Oh, my gosh.
Nick Foley. Not Mick Foley, not the wrestler. Nicholas Foley was arrested for being an idiot. Now, this is one of the reasons, one of the many reasons, every day we illustrate why you should do everything you can to not have your brain on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. New year, but some of the same old stories, because we've heard this same kind of thing happen so many times. But a wrecking crew in New York City, they kicked things off the wrong way in Queens. They demolished a 3-story building with one swing of a wrecking ball, but they found out afterwards that it was the wrong building. Startled tenants were forced to evacuate.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. A 10-foot hole was knocked in the building with the first blow, and there were tenants that came and peeked out the hole. That's when they realized, wait a minute, maybe this is not the right building.
Oh, could you imagine?
They were forced to evacuate, and the foundation had to be repaired before they could return. So they were able to fix it. So good news is they did not demolish it. They were supposed to demolish a 3-story building in Queens, and they started demolishing the wrong building. So, hey, if you're going to do that, folks, if you ever get in a business where you're going to do something like that, where it's pretty permanent, make sure you're at the right place.
This happens all the time.
We've had several stories now, all over the place. Some are homes. This was a 3-story building. All I know is it's a moment of duh for you right there. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. The new U.S. Air Force stealth bombers are pretty darn cool. Guess how much they're going to cost?
Oh, I don't even know.
$500 million each.
Man.
Yeah, so chances are we're not going to get one of those, Heidi.
Probably not. Not for ourselves.
I've had my eye on one, but I don't think I'll be getting one of those. Hey, a guy in China attempted to rob some automated teller machines, those are ATMs, by using a method that he'd seen in movies. He tried to short circuit the ATM by pouring a beverage into it. He was caught and charged with causing over $20,000 in damages to 3 ATMs. So,
wow.
Yeah, it didn't work, by the way. A study by the National Institute of Health says obese children who cut back on sugar intake see improvement in their blood pressure, cholesterol readings, and other markers for health. And it only takes about 10 days to notice the difference. So if you've got a child that maybe is having too much sugar, if you cut it back, see how things look in 2 weeks. That's kind of cool. An employer at Boston's Logan Airport caused American Airlines to be taken out of service when he attempted to take the ultimate selfie, standing on the wing of an airplane.
Are you kidding me?
No. Out of precaution, American Airlines decided, let's pull the aircraft from service, let's inspect it, make sure everything's okay, as the act of jumping on the wing could have damaged something. As it turns out, it looks like it didn't, but what an idiot. He's like, hey, I'm going to get a cool selfie standing on the wing of an airplane.
What
okay,
a
here's
moron.
one of the things. Unless you have a really, really, really long arm or a ginormous selfie stick.
And nobody's going to know you're on the wing of an
Yeah,
airplane.
probably not. Hey, forget about creams and serums for glowing skin and shinier hair and brighter eyes. There's a cheaper and more natural way to be beautiful. Lisa Dreyer, author of The Beauty Diet, tells us to eat salmon and sweet potatoes and spinach, and then get ready for beauty to shine from the inside out. Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. That reduces stress, fights depression, and boosts your mood, so you're going to feel better, too. She says this will go a long way to help us look better. For those of you wondering, again, I'll tell you the things that you need to eat. Salmon, sweet potatoes, and spinach.
I like salmon and spinach. I don't like
I do. I like
Sweet
sweet potatoes.
potatoes.
I could have a salmon, sweet potato, and spinach salad. I just wouldn't be able to say it very much because it's kind of hard to say. Salmon, sweet
That
potatoes,
would be
and
a pretty
spinach.
gross salad.
Hey, 21-year-old Gregory Crowe of Elliott, Maine, somewhere up there. Somewhere in Maine.
Okay.
My resolution was to learn how to read, and I have already failed.
Elliot.
I bet it's Elliot. Anyway, he was the first person to experience shopping cart rage that we know of.
Oh, my God.
Who needs a car to ram into people when you can do it with a shopping cart? Yeah, he ran a shopping cart into parked cars and then tossed another shopping cart onto the roof of a car. Apparently, he was mad about something. Police arrested him and hauled him away before they found out who owned the parked cars. They expect to hear from a few angry drivers in the next few days. So, yeah, he was banging up cars in the parking lot. Apparently, he didn't get the toy he wanted or something. I don't know.
I saw a video online, though, of a lady who was standing in line at customer service at a Walmart. And there was another woman who had already been in line, and then they told her to step aside and fill out her money order. And then they waved her back over when she was done filling in the money order, and this woman thought she cut in front of her in line, rammed her with her cart, grabbed her face, slammed her face into the ground, and
Whoa.
just beat her up.
Yikes.
Yeah.
People, calm down.
Yeah. Really?
Hey.
It'll take you maybe 2 minutes. Just wait
Yeah,
your turn.
Just calm down. Hey, what's the world's record for the fastest bank robber? It's got to be the winner. Adam Grennan passed a note to a Boston bank teller demanding money. Meanwhile, directly behind him was an officer who reached in, pulled his weapon out, and arrested the man instantly. So he handed him the note, and then he was arrested. So that's probably the record. Hey, you ready for a strange law?
I'm ready.
In Idaho, it is prohibited for pedestrians and motorists to display frowns, grimaces, scowls, or threatening and glowing looks that reflect unfavorable upon a state's reputation. So they're saying you need to smile while driving in Idaho. Otherwise, you could be pulled over for looking too grumpy while driving.
Huh.
That's a pretty interesting law.
Yeah, that is
So,
interesting.
What seems to be the problem here? What, was I speeding? No, you look like you're mad. Well, yeah, you pulled me over. That's why I pulled you over. All right, coming up, we've got Tuesdays with Charlie. That's your strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the telephone and call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Anything exciting happened for you over the new year?
No.
Did you have a hangover New Year's Day?
Nope.
You didn't?
I was in bed at 8:30.
Oh, wow.
You were not.
I was too.
Oh, my God.
If that's true, I'm proud of you, Charlie. That's pretty darn cool.
Hey, today we're going to do I'm going to call it Did You Know Day.
All right.
Okay.
This is just stuff I'm going to tell you that I think you should know.
Awesome.
If you care.
I do.
You know that a bear has 42 teeth?
I did not know that.
Well, see, that's why we say Did You Know Day.
Yeah, it's a lot of teeth.
Hey, if you try to say the alphabet without moving your lips or tongue, every letter will sound the same.
No kidding.
You can try that.
I'm moving my tongue, ain't I?
Yeah, you moved your tongue.
Keep your mouth shut and your tongue and your lips and tongue quiet.
I'll go stand in the corner and work on that.
You can work on that after we get off the phone.
Okay.
Okay. And then in Eastern Africa, you can buy beer from bananas.
Oh, banana beer?
Banana beer.
I bet that'd be.
Huh.
But
I bet that'd be
that's
kind of
yucky.
gross.
Doesn't sound like a top seller to me.
That's probably why it's just over there.
Yeah.
Hey, then the Grand Canyon can hold around 900 trillion footballs.
That's a lot of footballs.
Who Who sat down and figured that out?
Somebody that was on a boring road trip.
Somebody had a lot of footballs.
Where are we going to put all these footballs? I don't know. Let's see if they fit in the Grand Canyon.
And then did you know that sponges hold more cold water than hot?
More
Why?
cold water than hot water, huh?
Yep.
Expansion
Try
and
that
contraction, I'll
sometime.
bet.
Well, if you're going to try that later, aren't you?
Well, I'm just wondering why. I wonder why. I don't know. I'm going to have
Try
to
and
look
you'll
that up.
see. Hey, then every day is a holiday somewhere in the world.
I know. There's always somebody celebrating, and there's always a good reason to celebrate.
Yes, there is. 42% of men and 25% of women don't wash your hands after using a public toilet.
I've been behind those people before. That's kind of gross. Wash your hands, people.
Well, I don't know about public, but how about at home, too?
I do at home, no matter where. Do it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's important
Well,
stuff.
I know where things have been, and if you don't pee on yourself, then you don't have to wash
You
your
still do.
I don't always.
Oh, you guys.
That'll be a fluff.
Were you two raised in a barn or something?
I mean, I do most of the time, but not always.
All right.
If you didn't get your hands dirty.
Well, then.
I think anybody who says they do every single time is lying.
Yeah,
I think you're a big fat liar, John.
Big fat liar that lies right here.
We're going to end with the joke of the day.
All right. Anything but peeing on your hands. Thank you.
Yeah. What was more important invention than the first phone?
What was more important than the first phone?
More important invention than the first phone?
What?
I would say the second phone.
The second one,
Yeah.
yes.
'Cause without the second phone, the first phone wouldn't do much.
You got gack if you ain't got the second phone.
Yeah. Here you go. What is this? It's a telephone. What's it for? Calling other telephones. Great. Can you
got
make
it.
another one quick? Charlie, are you ready for a question?
Let's do it to it.
All right. First of all, I have to ask, have you ever been to Canada?
No,
You've never been to Canada?
no.
Well, this might
Oh,
not
I
be a
take-
very fair question for you then, but had
Yes,
somebody
I have.
ask,
I
what
take that back.
what
Yes,
oh,
I have.
you have been. Okay.
Yes, I have.
Wh-
How would you not know if you've been to Canada?
Oh, it was like 50 years ago.
Apparently
Why
it
would
was,
you remember that?
I was just thinking it was one hell of a road trip. I don't know.
it was a memorable weekend. Wait a minute. Yeah, I've seen photos of me there. I was there. All right. The question sent in was, what is the difference between an American 7-Eleven Slurpee and a Canadian 7-Eleven Slurpee?
Canadian has more ounces.
No, it's the American Slurpee is injected with air. The Canadian Slurpee is not. So here,
Americans are
when you
screwing you then.
yeah, when you when you make it, it's kind of fluffy, and if you let it sit for a while and let it melt, it's like half a cup. Well, in Canada, they won't do that. It's there's no air. It's all their Slurpees have no air.
You get more bang for your buck.
There you go. More Slurpee for your whatever they have up there for money for your
I'm running
loonies
up there
and
and getting
toonies.
one. I'm on my way to get one.
There you go. Well, Charlie, it was good chatting with you. Thank you so much for talking to us. You know, you were saying every day there's a holiday somewhere. Do you know what today is, by the way?
Tuesday.
It's Bird Day today.
Bird Day.
Yeah, so happy Bird Day to you.
Well, may they poop on your car.
All right, we'll talk to you next week,
Bye,
Charlie.
Daddy.
Okay. Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can with a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Scientists are now hoping to create a source of stem cells by fusing human cells with rabbit eggs to create embryos that are mostly human but part rabbit.
Oh, yeah. I don't see any problems at all coming from
What in
this.
the world is Why would I even...
This is a great idea.
Who's thinking of this stuff? All right. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hopefully it's better than the last one. A man in Norway living in publicly funded housing is refusing to take a bath, and he vows to take his fight all the way to the Supreme Court. So he's living in a publicly funded housing project, and there's other people saying, the guy stinks. Can you please make him take a bath? And he says, I'm not going to.
Huh.
You can't make me. So according to the rules, he doesn't have to.
Well, yeah.
He's gonna fight it all
There's no
ways.
way they can force him
But
to bathe.
if they're paying for his housing, they could certainly say, hey, if you're going to stay here, you certainly need to
Only if
smell
he's damaged
appropriately.
the housing in some way
Oh,
because of it.
I got a feeling that's it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Hey, speaking of that, coming up, apparently cleanliness is not next to godliness. We'll tell you what's going on in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Have you ever heard the phrase, cleanliness is next to godliness?
Yes.
Maybe, maybe not. Some experts are saying Americans are obsessively clean with our use of antibacterials. So clean that it's actually counterproductive. The problem is that all that scrubbing and sponging may be weakening our immune systems, and they're killing the helpful germs and the spurring of growth of the mutant strains of superbacteria. So what's happening is we're killing the helpful germs.
Yeah,
so then
I agree with this.
The bad bacteria is getting worse because it's turning into superbacteria.
Yep, and because some people are such freaks about germs, your body isn't ever exposed to any germs, so you have no immune system anymore.
That's where the doctors last year said, rub a little dirt on it. Not quite, but that's pretty much what they said. They said, hey, you know what? It's okay to get a little dirt on you because that's going to help. Stuart Levy from Tufts University, he's a geneticist there, says Americans are being swayed by advertising campaigns to be too clean, and they use too much antibacterial products. Levy says sometimes bacteria is good, and it strengthens our body's defenses and wards off germs. Levy also says that research has proved that overuse of antibacterials like antibiotics will create stronger, more dangerous strains of bacteria that will actually make you even sicker than if you would have just gotten sick in the first place.
Why did you just read that again? We literally just talked about this.
When did we talk about this?
Isn't that the conversation we just had where I just said, yeah, people that are too freaky about germs, that are washing their hands all the time, they have no immune system?
I read the rest of the story, that's all. Were you paying attention?
Isn't that what I just said? That was exactly what I just said.
I don't know. I just read the second half of the story. You act like I pay attention to what you said. Did you say what he said?
Pretty much.
Well, he's from Tufts University, and you're not. Anyway, thank you, Stuart Levy, for the study. Thank you, Heidi, for agreeing with me. Coming up, we've got a litter bug in the news, and this is an interesting story. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
I'm not a fan of litter bugs. I've seen people just throw things, and I don't think that's right. I would never do that. Never, 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 never. Because keep things clean. That's
right,
just
I agree.
A nice thing to do. Can you imagine getting a fine for throwing something in the garbage?
No.
Yeah, that's what happened in London, East London. A woman faced a fine of $35 for throwing an envelope in the trash. They're threatening her with a fine about $35 for putting 2 old envelopes from her handbag into the rubbish bin in England.
Why? Because it was supposed to be recyclable?
Apparently, it's against the law to take your own personal trash from home and dump it into public waste containers.
Are you kidding me?
We're talking about 2 old envelopes that were in her purse. She just wanted to clean out her purse. No matter, the government hired people to sort through the trash, looking for clues as to who this notorious criminal may be. They discovered that it was Lisa of Hackney, East London. And after spending several man-hours trying to discover who she was, now they're giving her a whopping fine of $35 for throwing an envelope.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Now, I could see if she was dumping her entire garbage bag.
She had a huge garbage bag full of, that's one thing.
But that's not what she was doing.
No, that's ridiculous.
All right. Coming up, we've got a story that I'm going to just tell you. It's kind of yucky, so it's on the way. For those of you that are queamish, just beware. It's on the way.
Queamish?
Squeamish?
Squeamish.
That's the one. If you're queamish or squeamish, just beware. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
All right, Heidi, I've got a story here that comes with a warning. It is a medical story, but it's talking about, what do you call baby flies? Maggots?
Maggots.
Ugh. I don't even like saying the word. But they have a thing called maggot medicine. I'm sorry for those of you that are getting sick, just listening to this. We'll be done in 45 seconds. Doctors have long known... Would you just stop it? I know exactly what you were thinking over there. Doctors have long known that maggots can help with healing wounds by eating the dead tissue. But doctors in England's University of Bradford discovered that their secretion contains an enzyme that speeds up healing as well. And they said it might be possible to heal a person's wounds just by putting a bandage that's soaked in that fluid that's secreted by these little buggers.
Gross.
That is gross. This whole story is just... Ugh. But anyway, it's happening in the world, and I think that our listeners deserve to know about it. So there you go. Coming up, 5 ways to reduce stress for women. And if one of them is not get away from men, then I don't believe this list. We've got those 5 ways coming your way in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Heidi, you're a woman, right?
I believe so. Last time I checked.
So you have to tell me how accurate you think this list is. I have a list of 5 ways to reduce stress for women. It says, whatever your profession, ladies, there will be several times where you feel like you're pulling your hair out or shouting at the top of your voice. Here are 5 ways to dial it down a notch. So, number 1, join a gym. They say exercise is a proven stress buster. Can improve your mind and body and your relationship and reduce your physiological factors such as blood pressure, a sign of stress, and body weight, as well as increase alertness and self-esteem. So why is this only for women, I'm wondering?
I don't know,
Should
but
be
I
for
agree
men,
with that.
too. Next, eat less fat. If you're overweight, this small change can help you reduce your body fat and be more desirable. Weight loss will not only reduce your stress placed upon your heart, it also feels good and makes your blood pressure go down as well. So there you go. Again, why is this just for
Agreed
ladies?
so far.
5 ways to reduce stress for women. Number 3, have a massage. A skilled masseur will literally push out any negative vibes and allow you a half hour or hour of complete abandonment. I'm still wondering why this is only for ladies. 5 ways that ladies can reduce stress. Number 4 on the list, get a facial. Okay, that's why. A great way
That's why.
to wake up your pores in your face. 2 main ways to experience a facial. You can experience one at the hands of a pro, or you can buy a do-it-yourself kit, but either one is going to help. And the last one, yeah, this is why it's for ladies. Go shopping. This is how I add stress to my life. Never underestimate the relaxing properties of retail. The retail therapy is what they call it. They spend a little bit of our hard-earned cash on buying things that'll cheer you up. Without fail, we're happy and more relaxed. So
I agree.
There you go. For the guys out there, just go with those first 3. If you want to get a facial, that's okay. You're probably going to lose man points if you do that. And then the last one, if you want to go shopping, I don't know, maybe you buy some manly stuff and you'll feel better. But there you go. 5 ways to reduce stress for women. Coming up, we've got some good news. It's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
I always like to end this program on an upswing, a positive note, something happy and cheerful, Heidi.
Okay.
And this one here, I think, is kind of an interesting story. Research suggests a promising strategy for getting picky eaters to try new foods. So if you've got kids that don't like to eat certain things,
Right.
we've got a son.
Oh, yeah, we do.
He likes
Chicken nuggets, and that's about it.
and rice.
And rice.
He loves rice.
Yeah.
That kid goes nuts on rice. Well, research suggests, that's hard to say. Can you say that for me?
Research suggests.
Oh, wow, you're better at it. Research suggests a promising strategy for getting picky eaters to eat new foods, and it's teaching them to cook. According to a report published by the CDC, kids who take cooking classes or spend a little time preparing family meals show measurable improvements in their eating habits. The study found that kids who are generally consuming fruits and veggies have a more positive attitude about trying new foods, and they're saying by bringing kids into the kitchen and letting them interact with food in new ways makes them more comfortable with these colors and textures and scents, and they'll try maybe having a more well-balanced diet by doing that. They feel a little more in control with this culinary experience, and they relax a bit.
Huh.
Because, it's not that they don't like the taste of broccoli. They're just nervous around broccoli.
Sure. I'm sure that's what it is.
So when you were a kid, were you a picky eater, Heidi?
I wouldn't say I was picky, but I definitely didn't like a lot of vegetables.
When I was a kid, if you asked my mom if I was a picky eater, she would say definitely. I know I was the pickiest eater of my whole family. Funny thing is, I am also the biggest person of my whole family now. So apparently I've gotten over all that stuff. Either that or I just...
No, you're still picky. You just eat more of the bad stuff that's not good for you.
That doesn't look good. I'm going to eat this thing instead. It's a glazed donut. It's a really nice... I'm going to swap some things out on this recipe. It called for broccoli. I'm going to eat a glazed donut instead. All right. Anyway, I thought that was really cool. If you've got kids that are picky eaters, teach them to cook, and that'll help them learn to love eating healthier things too. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. Guys, it's a new year. Why keep using the same old razors? I mean, seriously, how long have you been using those things? First of all, you got to go to the store to buy them. You got to try to remember to pick them up when you need to pick them up. I have been getting so many. Heidi, you'll be proud of me. I paused my shipment for January.
Ah.
Yeah, because I have some razors stacking up. She's like, why do we have so many razors? You
should buy another handle, and I bet we would go through them a little faster.
I don't want you guys using all my razors. That's what the deal is. And I have 2 handles already.
For those ones?
Yeah,
Oh,
Troy
right.
took one, and then he still comes in and uses ours. So I don't understand what that's all about. Anyway, if you'd like to, I was getting 2 for a while. That's why I have the second handle. I was getting a shipment like in the beginning of the month and another one halfway through the month. So anyway, it was popped up saying, "Hey, time for your next shipment." I was like, "Yeah, I don't need that because I got them stacking up right now." And that's the beauty about this. You sign up for it. It is so convenient. But if you get like me where you're saying, "Hey, I've got them. I'm good." You click a little button and you pause it for a while. I just took a month off. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's so affordable. DollarShaveClub.com/radio. Now, we just went through this New Year thing. We probably could have used this stuff Friday, but I figured most of you people would be sleeping in on Friday. We could have used it yesterday, but I thought, you're trying to get caught up yesterday. So let's talk about some New Year's stuff here. Like, how did the tradition of using a baby come to be significant for the New Year? Because, you got, Santa Claus.
Right.
Easter
I have no
Bunny.
idea. Because it's a brand new year, so it's a brand new... I always thought just because it's brand new, it's just like a baby is brand new.
And that's kind of what it is. It comes from ancient Greece around 600 BC. Their tradition at the time was to celebrate their god of wine. Oh, Heidi's liking this. By parading a baby in a basket representing the annual rebirth of that god and the spirits of fertility. Early Egyptians also used a baby as a symbol of rebirth, and they used the image of a baby with a New Year's banner as a symbolic representation of the new year. And it was brought to early America by Germans, and they used an effigy ever since the 14th century. So how about the practice of making New Year's resolutions, Heidi?
I have no idea.
Goes back to ancient Babylon. I just wanted to say it that way. It says early Babylonians, but
okay.
I wanted to get your attention and make you smile, and that worked, because that made her think of Brian Regan. While popular modern resolutions might include promises to lose weight or quit smoking, the early Babylonians' promises were to return borrowed farm equipment. So it was on the new year that they would come with their resolution. I'm going to, thank you for letting me use your plow. Here it is. I'm going to bring that back to you. So it was really like resetting everything. It was returning things.
Huh.
Why do we celebrate New Year's on January 1st, you might ask?
I don't know.
Go ahead and ask.
Why do we celebrate New Year's on January 1st?
I'm glad you asked. The greeting, Happy New Year, is said for the next couple weeks. People will still be saying that, but it's always the beginning of January. But it was not always the beginning of January. The celebration of the New Year is one of the oldest of all holidays, and it was observed in ancient Babylon 4,000 years ago. And again,
Babylon has been busy today.
Yeah. And in the year 2000 BC, the Babylonian New Year began with the first new moon, which was the first visible crescent after the vernal equinox, of course. Everybody knows that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The beginning of spring is when it used to be.
Okay.
It was never in January. It always used to be in the beginning of spring. After all, the season of rebirth, planting new crops. January 1st, on the other hand, has no reason whatsoever. It was arbitrarily picked. But it used to be on March 31st.
Ah.
So they would
knew
celebrate
this because you've told me this story many
exactly.
times.
They would celebrate March 31st, like in the spring, and then when everybody would wake up in the morning, they would have hangovers. And when they changed it, everybody that was still celebrating, they're going, "Hey, I've always celebrated on March 31st. I don't care what you're doing in January. I'm celebrating now." They would wake up with hangovers on April 1st, and people would pull pranks on them, and they referred to those people as what, Heidi? April Fools. And that's where that day comes from. Hey, traditions around the world, some things that other people celebrate for New Year's. Many parts of the U.S., especially southern regions, celebrate New Year's by consuming black-eyed peas.
Ew.
Yeah, this is their big thing, and they'll enjoy black-eyed peas and other legumes. They've been considered good luck in many cultures. The hog and its meat considered lucky because it symbolized prosperity. So they'll have pig and black-eyed peas. Cabbage is another good luck vegetable that people have on New Year's Day.
Ew.
Cabbage leaves are considered a sign of prosperity. Also, from Southerners, they eat cornbread, and they say that'll bring
I do
good
like
health.
cornbread.
We'll have to have some of that for the New Year, even though we're a couple days late now. Eating noodles at midnight is customary at Buddhist temples in Japan. It's a Cuban tradition to eat 12 grapes at midnight to signify the 12 months of the year that just passed.
Oh.
German folklore says eating herring at midnight will bring good luck for the next year. And for the Polish descent, they eat pickled herring. They also think that'll bring good luck. And Heidi's family, they get completely drunk, and they think that will just make them forget the last year. That's usually right at midnight. Hey, black-eyed peas, fish, apples, and beets, they're eaten for luck in Jewish New Year celebrations. And finally, boiled cod. Sounds disgusting. I love cod, but never, ever
I've
have
never
I
had boiled cod.
It's a must in Denmark and in the Philippines, and it's important to have food on the table at midnight to ensure that you'll have food in the upcoming year.
Oh,
so
interesting.
they have a feast at midnight saying that, hey, we're going to have a plentiful 2016 or whatever year they're going into. So there you go. Just some little things that I was going to share the other day, and I thought I'm going to wait until people are sobered up because this is kind of cool. Thanks for listening to our bonus break. It's brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.